Thank you. Okay. Okay, Jay, can we do a session schedule? Because no, I mean, it's about 4 hours. So it's okay.
Right?
No, I have 4 hours, so it's fine.
I don't know what 4 hours you're talking about.
Session schedule. I have 4 hours time. I have 4 hours until Sonic Age 3. Then I left.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
One question, Jay. So it's a VA session, correct?
Yeah?
Okay.
You ever hear from Joyce? No? Maybe she'll jump on at the top of the hour. And we can still do break, but it's good to get started a little early, you know? So, POS overall organizing. I think that's what I would start with, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So for me, the main priority is just getting the schedule clear and set up for all of the different priorities for POS.
Sure. Yeah. I have agreement, no objection, creating the tab, okay? Schedule, right? Schedule. Oh, sorry. How much time, Jay? How much time?
12 let's do 9 to 18 minutes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Topic one.
So we have POS overall, POS assets, POS finance, and POS equity.
Correct.
And then we have budget report, assets report, finance report, and equity.
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
So should we take a break or what?
I mean, as you wish. To me, we just started. We can keep going. Joyce is joining top of the hour.
All right, I'm fine. I'm fine. Keeping going.
Yeah, I mean, just started.
Well, Joyce is here.
Oh, so sorry. What time is it?
No,
What time?
we started early.
Okay. Because I alarm just now. I was took a nap for a while. Sorry. They're recording right now.
Yes, we have recording. We're live streaming.
Okay. Say, where's the note, Alberto, same as a while ago?
No,
Oh,
we
no.
have
What do you
new.
mean?
Yeah. We have no. I saw.
So the old schedule basically all took place between now and Sonic Wednesday. Wednesdays Sonic Hour Cube. So we no longer are doing that. So the general idea is to instead. What are you linking?
Well,
What are you linking?
the priorities. We
Okay.
need them later. Not to disturb us, but maybe we need them later. I mean, I told you already. I'm very concerned about the I mean, not the overall schedule, but the schedule. The regular schedule is actually good because also people are. I mean, the team is still working. It's not that I mean working and scheduling and work is happening, but the problem is that uh, the to me the purpose of the how many were there 12 no we had at one point we had 15, correct? 15 regular sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 regular
No, I think
sessions.
I think we went. I
9.
think we considered going up to 12, 15, but we never did. So we got 12 is the maximum.
Correct. Yes, great memory. Yes, correct. We never went to 15. We were at 12, correct? And the fact that it was working very good with 12 was the fact that we had three POS support sessions happening, right? So if we go and we take the schedule that we had, it was working very well because we had, remember, on Wednesday we had once finance, the other equity, alternately every week. Then we had the assets on Tuesday. Thanks God, we maintained that. Then we had, and then we had on Monday overall, or yeah, overall, 3 POS sessions every week. Now it's kind of gone. That's to me is the most concerning thing about the fact that we increase the regular session. So I don't understand why we don't have the schedules.
What schedule?
There was a schedule in one of these spreadsheets, and there's also the top schedule, but there's nothing. I don't understand why.
Well, I just added the tab schedule. I just added
You
that.
just added it. Okay, yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
so what I'm thinking here, that's a little
Yeah.
confusing.
There's background noise. Can I try to mute you, Joyce?
I'm the one?
Much better.
Interesting. So before we had 2 finance sessions, 1 equity, 1 overall, and then 4 assets.
Yes. Except, no. What do you mean one overall? Why one overall?
1 overall session per month. POS overall support.
This was the schedule before 9:17.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Correct, Jay. I'm making confusion with the executive support. Okay, yes. We had 4 asset sessions per month,
Yeah.
every Tuesday, and then the Wednesday we had the finance and equity that were alternating, and once per month, yeah, the overall on Wednesday. Yeah. And then on Monday we had, which we still have the executive support, and then we had on Friday. Friday we
I
had
see.
client work. No, the executive client work, kind of reviewing or government compliance, whatever was needed, BA sessions needed for taxes, government compliance, sponsorship. I think that we should add. I don't know. I don't know, Joe.
All right, I think I have a plan.
Yeah. You're not considering adding a regular schedule session, correct?
Well, I'm considering anything. You can do whatever you want to, but for now, I just wanted to try to figure out a plan within our existing schedule.
Uh-huh.
So this is what I'm thinking for now.
Okay.
Be line
11.
11 through 14. So
Yeah.
this is the first hour. This would be the second hour.
So
This is
why are you
Cobalt.
deleting? Who's deleting things here? Not Joyce.
No,
I think
I'm not deleting. I am just moving
moving it
down.
around over and over and over again.
Okay.
I'm just moving it down.
Okay. Okay. Can you bring it back up, please?
The one up? Okay.
The old schedule. It was good to have it next to us. Yes, thank you. Okay, overall, closest to new moon.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Oh, wow, Jay. Wow.
What?
Very nice what you just wrote here. Very cool. So basically,
once per month we work on reporting for the first hour, and then the second hour we focus on assets. Once per month we do overall and then assets. Once per month we do finances and assets. Once a month we do equity and then assets. So we always work on assets the second hour, and then the first hour we rotate depending on the moon schedule.
I have an improvement. Maybe. I would say. What? First, second segment, and then second second third to fourth. Kind of like this, no?
Oh, well, I mean, that's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but yes, but with segments. So because yes, no, yours is much better. No, I'm gonna delete now.
Now let's just get rid of hour and say first half,
First
and then
half.
we take it, and then we take it, and then we do second half. You know, so whether it's segment, hour doesn't matter. It's just the first half and the second half, right?
Yeah, perfect.
So
So
today would be equity,
yes, they will be
according to this, and then we would do,
when is the last?
and then
when is
next
the last
week would be last quarter, September 6th, would be September 5th.
September 6th. Yes, September 6th, last quarter.
So next week would be reporting, what is a week late in relationship to the budget report, but you know, whatever.
Time for breath.
Always a
Please
report
stop and
card.
get ready. Now
You can-
inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So we can actually do, we could actually do equity reporting today and next week, because the equity report is due in, like, you know, the first report due next month.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking, that we should switch equity with reporting, because we have the equity report deadline. Right? Can you pull up the deadlines for the reports, Joyce? Would you do that? Can you do that? Copy and paste them in the notes.
Okay. Come.
I mean, as you wish, Jay. Also, no, my okay. POS. So,
So equity
no.
deadline.
Okay, but the deadline is Friday, September 15th for the POS equity report.
Equity. September 15th.
Yeah, so if we waited a month, it would be too late, right? So we have 2 weeks. Ideally, we could get the equity report done during this session for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, of course. But to me, it would be very beneficial to have an equity session today. So we get the equity. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't even know what equity is, right? I don't really know. We never had an equity session, so I don't really know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So. The reporting is it's minor in my view. Like the drafting of the actual report is minor. What is the complicated, difficult part is understanding what goes into report, what equity.
That is drafting the report.
You know best. I'm just
Draft
saying.
the report. I mean, the hardest thing to do is the first report, right?
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
is the correct, right? It's correct the deadline, Friday, September 15th for New Moon for the, no, sorry, yes, for the draft of the equity report, is correct?
Yeah, this one here.
Okay. Okay.
So, or make that yellow. So, in the context of the co-op half-year budget report, that one is the one that we missed. And we're on half pay stop because of it. Did you hear about this?
I did, yeah, I did. I know.
Yeah, not good.
I mean, we have a very good. We can just use the model for the. No, we cannot. It's different. I don't know.
Cool. All right, so I think this is good. Unless there's any like objections or concerns or questions, I think we just move on to the next topic, which would be the equity reporting, equity coordination.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, I have. I'm good to move forward.
All right, so today's focus is going to be equity and assets.
Oh, yeah, I'm just indexing the notes to the schedule.
So, I mean, I think we should just focus on the equity report. I think is the best thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Because then we can work towards, we can get everything organized and work towards our debt.
sure. Yeah. So, but Joe, can I ask something? I mean, it's a VA session, so I don't want to. I don't know if it's part of the topic or not. But would it be okay to have like a kind of a topic where you just go free and we take notes on equity?
That would be like a main session, right? Do you want to do training on equity and stuff?
No, I don't want training. I want clarity. I want for you
You just want to
to.
ask a bunch of questions.
No, I don't want to ask nothing. No.
Time
flow.
to
I want to
stretch.
take notes. I want to
Please
understand.
stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
So just clarify the desired outcome.
Yeah. Okay, let's stretch first. Desired outcome. Okay, so let me go one line. I'm gonna go into other topics here, okay? Because maybe we're not gonna. Oh, the equity. So the equity. Introduction to equity, okay? Introduction to equity. Could be, 3 to 6 minutes. Pay freely, introducing the whole equity, I don't know, environment. Oh,
It sounds like training. It sounds like something we do during main session and training. Have you seen our introduction to the equity document and with all how to do all your tokens and stuff?
okay. I understand the tokens. I mean, maybe it can happen in the same. It doesn't matter if it's a topic or not a topic. It can be also part of the equity report because. But I know how, in my experience, I know how you work, right? So we go into the equity report and you immediately go into the work. which is fine, but
Yeah, well, I agree we could have a section.
difficult to
in
follow.
there.
It's very difficult to follow you if you don't give us a bit of heads up.
Yeah, I mean, we
Like
want
just
the
please,
equity.
it's me.
We want the equity report to be able to be read by the public, right?
First.
So I feel like there could be a section on the introduction and like what is equity, making sure people understand what we're talking about. For sure, I agree.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you see,
so-
you're already going to the equity report. The point is that I know it's VA session, so maybe I'm saying something that is not even applicable. But what I'm saying is that in order for us to support you,
Time
maybe
to pause.
that what you're
Please
looking
stop.
for.
Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Before going immediately into the report as you're just doing now, if you can give us just, I don't know, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you think that could be very beneficial for us to know before we go into the equity report. Because equity, when you say equity, to me
well,
is
I
a
mean,
bit.
if you just have a question, that you just ask the question, and I'll answer it really quick, and we can do multi-tracking for
My,
topic
que-
zero.
my question is the following.
Yeah.
Would you be so kind, Jay, to just speak for about 2-3 minutes about equity? That's my question.
No, I mean that's not an actual question.
Because I have no idea what to ask you about equity. I would like to have some general understanding
But
from
that
you.
sounds like training. It just sounds like training. And then you say, no, it's not training. I mean, I just don't understand what it is that we want or ask for. I
Yeah.
don't get what is the desired outcome. Me really introducing the whole of equity is not a desired outcome because there's no output. It's just me talking what is the outcome? The only thing I can think about is the outcome is that Alberto learns more about equity for his own interest.
Exactly. I knew that it wasn't applicable for the VA session, so let's move forward to the equity report. Perfect. No objections.
If questions come up while we're talking about the equity report, then just ask them, you know?
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Mhm.
But I want the equity report to be easy to read for especially normal everyday people and workers and the public. So everything should be explained in the equity report. Okay.
Totally.
So
Yes.
do we have agreement on our topic?
Yes,
So-
no objection.
Guys, can you do policy tracking?
Why? What happened?
Because you create the tabs before we have agreement.
Oh yeah, that's true. She did.
Che, it's not correct.
Okay. All right.
You're
Meaning
assuming that
it's
we will agree.
Point 10.
Huh?
We just didn't have agreement on topic 2 yet, and you had already created the topic 2 tab. As
Yeah,
well.
I understand.
So it's minor to point 1 is default.
Point.
All right.
Okay.
So
Thank Agreement, yes. No objections.
okay, so everything. So I would start with a brainstorm of everything equity.
Amazing. Okay. Yes. Wow.
That's how I would start. So obviously we have tokens, right?
Yes.
We've
Time
got-
for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
We have tokens, shares, community equity, and community equity. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these are our 4 primary components of equity. 4 primary components of value.
Okay.
Okay, so when we talk about our 4-year value package, and this is we are talking about these 4 components. So when you get a 4-year equity package, you get token, shares, equity, and community equity. Okay?
Mhm.
So from there, there's obviously different perspectives. There's the public, there is investors, there is traders, there is, I would put this as like medium slash long-term investors, and then you have short-term traders, right? Then you've got workers, which is like the most important, workers slash contributors. I would say workers, and then you have other contributors besides workers. I feel like workers are a whole different category. So specifically workers slash personnel, organizations. Then you have different categories of equities. So you have value pools. So within value pools, you've got, for example,
Sorry, Jay.
Yeah.
When you say organizations, you mean also the like clients and sponsorship programs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just any and all organizations, because it's not an individual. So all of these are basically individuals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So individuals who own value, and then you've got groups that own value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Although obviously medium and long-term investors could be groups. So you could have organizations that are contributors, you could have organizations that are medium long-term investors, et cetera, et cetera. Right?
Okay.
So then you have value pools, which basically means you have subcategories of.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So you've got like activity. You've got a ACU, good cause group. You've got
Alpha, maybe not yet.
Yeah, I'll skip alpha for now. There's a couple that I'm missing that are key here. I guess you could put the most, right? Well, no, it's not system. United LLC, right?
Jurasan. Jurasan is you mean activity? The activity is under Jurasan or?
Yeah, Jurasan's just trust. Anything that's in trust, there's no equity, right? It's not profit. So it has to be a for-profit company. So these are the main ones that I can think of here. So
what you say, Jurasan is a non-profit?
Jurasan is just a trust, it's a fund.
Trust.
Okay, it's a fund. The Jurasan fund. Yes.
Yeah, it's a fund. So it's just it's non-profit. It has no ownership. So it's held in trust. All right. So these are the value pools, and then we have categories. So categories. So the categories would be, for example, wait, let's put this over. Categories would include all the different types of tokens and stuff. So you have network equity, you have back pay, benefits. You've got, and under network equity, you have two kinds. You have power and, value, right? Power and jurisdictional, right? So technically, it's technically power is time, right? So time slash power and then jurisdiction. So you have back pay benefits, you have jurisdictional individual, you have jurisdictional family, you have global equity, right? And then you get into all the other categories of value. So from here, you have everything from internal operations, you've got client hours, you've got sessions, buddy teams, you've got full teams, double teams, you've got main buddy teams, you've got finances, you have all the different teams, you have ACG, executive team.
These are all big teams though, right?
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
Yeah, so let's just finish this.
I would put them in as a subcategory.
No, but the value outreach NRT. So the value of the teams are separate from the fact that they're P teams.
Okay.
For
Management.
life support. What were you saying?
Management.
Management team. Yes, management. Perfect. All right. Anyways, this is a good start. Oh yeah, then we have board, board membership, legion, etc., etc. Okay. Owners.
Yeah.
Cool. So they are P teams, but again, it's not about the P team. It's about the value.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we have the value team. Okay. So you'll see when we get like network equity is sort of like the umbrella to all value, but then you can actually break out actual value, and then when you get into actual value, then you get into all of the other components of value like sustainability, human rights, and then we talk about real value, like the actual movement categories, sustainability, human rights, occupy, Black Lives Matter. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. There's just all the sustainability components. Corporate corruption. Okay, so anyways, we go on and let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll keep going. I mean, this goes. There's so many exciting components with all of it. So we have to keep going.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
We're getting a little bit started on this, but still barely the tip of the iceberg. 4-minute break.
Break.
End
It's
of
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
All right. So one of the components I want to add in here that I feel like is just essential, but it's not technically part of our package, but it's part of the bigger picture. So we could say bigger picture of equity and value. Are you guys back? Is anyone here?
Yes, we're here.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, so anyways, to finish up what I was saying about, well, I want to move on, I'll go back. Okay, so the bigger picture of equity and value, super duper important. Obviously, we have community equity. Then there's societal equity. And then we have, well, I mean, you might as well write it, you know, civilization equity, right? But then there's basically like the idea of a minimum universal basic equity. So this is based off the concept and idea of the basic minimal basic income or universal basic income, and universal minimum income. So the idea is that it's harder to do universal minimum income, whereas we can already do universal basic equity. Super easy. Universal minimum equity. So these bigger pictures of equity is very, very important. So then there's organizational equity, network equity, etc. Right? So that's kind of like
The global
global
equity.
Global equity is a type of organizational equity.
Okay.
So the co-op issues global equity as it's global. Like most organizations only have global equity. They don't have any other forms of equity, right? We have many other levels of global. Oh, there's also another component of equity, which is like levels of accessibility with equity. I think another term would be inaccessible equity, which means that rich people are barred, rich and higher jurisdictions barred from lower jurisdictions. So when we talk about our 4-year global equity package, it is unbelievable because
Time
whenever
to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
All right, so we want to link the jurisdictional spreadsheet, right? For the packages. This
Are you
is
doing it, Joyce?
I'm trying. Spreadsheet. Is this the one, Alberto? Is the one?
No.
Ah, that one. Okay. Jurisdiction.
Ah. You deleted
Where
it?
did you get? Where did you put?
You deleted it. I was putting
No,
next
I did not
to.
delete. Did not delete.
Right. I'm going to do it again. How can I find it? Wow.
Jurisdiction.
Current jurisdiction.
Okay, here.
Current.
All right, so if we come in here, it's just good to understand that when we go to the jurisdictions and we look at column O, which has the overall 4-year packages, I should be sharing my screen for this. But we have the overall 4-year packages, right? When you look at all these overall 4-year packages, it's not like, oh, I get $2 million for Palo Alto, and someone in San Paulo only gets 750,000, right? That's not what it is. It's actually, if I wanted the equivalent of the San Paulo equity, I would need 2.75 million, right? Because each of these equity packages are actually separate. So the $2 million United States package is separate from the 750 Sao Paulo package. Does that make sense? So they're equivalent. They're not under each other, right? So I can't take, for example, $1 million Palo Alto package and just like have both the Palo Alto and the Brazilian equity. You would lose your Palo Alto equity in order to get the Brazilian equity. You're investing in Brazil. And then there's a category under here which separates out the levels of inaccessible equity. So if your equity is higher level, you're not allowed to invest in lower level equity. But if your equity is lower level, then you still can invest in higher level equity. Okay? Does that make sense?
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
So
All
why
right, so
is
the
it
last
so?
thing I'll say, what?
Why is it so like?
What, Joyce?
Why is it like that? Why is it like that, Jay? That if you are in the higher, you cannot invest in the lower.
It's not fair.
Because it's all about empowerment, right? And so one of the primary ways that the global elite, there's 6 people who own half the value of the entire planet, right? You understand?
Yes.
There's less than 10 people own half the value of the entire planet because they're multi-quadrillionaires, and they can just go in and buy entire local communities and sell them out. And basically, like it's such a ridiculous power, dynamic. The idea that it's just legal for quadrillionaires to just go in and buy out the poor is ridiculous. So the idea is that you actually build models that buffer communities, and this works both directions. Like you can have a community that wants to move towards a non-monetary system, so they actually don't want their values to get higher. They want to keep the cost of living low. And that is perfectly fine to do in relationship to the idea that no one can buy you. There is a buffer, and that rich people are not allowed to own the poor people's value. And that it's not even really, once you get to that system, then it's no longer poor. It's just just a different buffered group, right? It's just like smaller on the scale. It's not actually poor anymore because you control your own value. The whole concept of poorness means that you lose control, you lose empowerment, you're poor. When you have buffered value, and local communities bar, rich people from coming in and just completely buying them out, and so that you keep your own power, you're no longer poor because the actual value of your currency, the value of your community is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the relationship of the value, right? So if everybody in your community who is involved in the economy is the same value, then the relationship is equal. And there's no poorness anymore. All right, so anyways, that is a simplification. It's obviously much more complicated because you still have rich people, but it helps create a buffer. So I don't want to go into a lot of details.
Can I say something here?
Sure.
If I understood it well.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
why are we where we are today? What you just said is very important to understand in order to transform the world, and it's amazing, and it's the problem. May I'm not sure, but kind of sounds like the Z problem, because think it this way, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. This is my understanding, and also stop me if it's irrelevant and we want to move forward. So, think it this way. What you just said is very explanatory to the current society, because what do we do here, right? We do professional work, yes, but how do we do it? We create plans, we create lists, we create priorities, and then we apply, we allocate the required resources. And I mean, I think today we can say that without arrogance, with the utmost humbleness, that our plans are working, right? Things are happening the way they were planning them to happen, with not super efficient, but things are moving forward the way they were planning them. Correct? Can we say that?
Yes, but I'm not sure what you're trying to get to.
Yeah, I'm getting it. I'm linking myself to your point. This is what the problem is, that society is what it is because very rich families, I wouldn't say people, I would say families, okay, it's families. But maybe you have more information. My information stops to the 13 families. Anyways, this is irrelevant. So imagine these families when suddenly at one point no more slavery. No more slavery. Okay, no more slavery. So how do we keep making so much money and so much profit? Okay, we make a plan. Make a nice plan. We ban marijuana. We not really marijuana. We hemp. Ban hemp.
Time to stretch.
We create something
Please
that
stop,
we call
stand
education.
up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
I'm just gonna finish.
So I need to get going here pretty soon, so I'm still not quite.
I'm about to finish and link to what you say, right? So, so these people that so much uneven imaginary wealth that they just create plans, they put the necessary resources, and their plan works. Perfect. And that is why it's so important that if you have a lot of money, you cannot come to Brazil and buy out Brazil. And that's the point. No, that's the point that we were making here, right? That's the big problem of society, because people from London, mainly London at the time, and Rome,
Okay,
maybe
so
they
so
bought out.
they can buy the world.
Yeah, they bought out the world. Maybe New York already. Yeah, New York definitely.
Okay.
And so this relates, in my understanding, relates to maybe the problem. If you have a lot of money, there should be limitations in where you're allowed to invest, because it needs the relationship that you said. The relationship or the value is what matters. So the relationship must be equal. So you cannot come with your value. Okay, am I wrong, or it totally doesn't make sense? Take a stretch.
We cannot hear the rhythm. I cannot hear.
No, it was
I know.
before.
I actually already said. Okay, so I need to get going. I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah, can you respond?
What?
Can you respond to what I said? Is it correct? It's not correct?
Yeah.
It's
Yes, that is exactly correct. The whole idea is that you create buffers and create spaces that are not, I mean, it's exactly the same concept that, oh, you can't be involved in this because you're a nonprofit. Oh, you can't be involved in this because you're a for-profit. Oh, you can't be involved in this because you are a government organization. Oh, you can't be involved in this because you're an individual. You don't have organizational rights, right? So it's like there's all these fragmentations of society. It's like using that model, except instead it's like, oh, you can't be involved in this because you're a billionaire. You can't be involved in this because you're a millionaire. You can't be involved in this because you own over $150,000, right? So it's all about the your ticket is your value, and your owner, basically what is your income, what is your wealth, right? So as soon as you go over a certain amount of wealth, you now get cut off from all of these smaller levels of wealth, which have the vast majority of people in them, right?
Time to pause.
Yeah.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So community equity is extremely powerful. Societal equity and the levels of accessibility of equity are just, that by itself could transform everything. You know, I don't want to get into it because it's not related to equity, but there's also the cyclical economic models. But we can address that later. But the only thing I want to say, and then I need to go, is that going back to our category, our value categories, there's infinite value categories. You could do education, you could do training, you could do family culture, you could do, you know, our communications, right? You could do our, you know, all the different types of clients and the executive support and the, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But the point is that every single category, you know, rankings, everything like that, this is where we do our value tracking. When we track our value, we say, okay, we spent 3 hours on sponsorship, or we spent 2 hours on social media or whatever, that's actually tracking the value of the time put into the organization. So we almost only talk about the overall time that we put in, but there's another category when you go into the deeper levels of value, which is the actual category of the time that you're putting in is the actual value. And the actual value is really where the value of in the vision is. And that's why value tracking is so important and value tracking is required. Okay. All right, so I need to get going here.
What I always say, sorry, it's very fast. What I always say to when, especially, I mean, what I always say is that value tracking and documenting and recording and notes, it's so important. Indexing everything is so important because that's why we can, in my limited understanding, Jay, of course, that's simplification. That's how we can mint our tokens because nobody can say that Jay didn't work 2 hours and created the value because it's all documented, it's all there. But this actual value, when you come back, maybe we can discuss it more. It's very interesting.
Well, we're going to go into assets. So I'm going to take a break, go eat some food, and
Yeah.
come back to assets. As far as the framework for the equity report, you know, we're going to want to set it up and do the introduction and kind of look at the previous reports, you know, introduction. And then we're going to want to have like, you know, kind of like a status report on all the different sections. And then maybe have like a worker section, investor section. And, oh, there's one other type of equity.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
There's just general beneficiary equity, which is cool. Anyway, so the framework could be done based on your relationship. So it's like, this is the report and update for workers. This is the report for investors. This is the report for, you know, the different people involved. So maybe that's how we want to structure it. I'm not sure yet how we want to structure it. So we'll have to continue to think about, but it needs to cover everything that we just went over. We could, I think we might want to have like a section on our tokens, a section on our shares, our equity. I think all that makes a lot of sense in terms of just having clarity on where we are with each of the 4 primary components of the value package. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you all soon.
No, you're coming back, right, Jay? How long? My zoom in.
I don't know, at least like 15 to 30 minutes. I just need to go eat dinner. And then we're
Okay,
working
let's
out.
bottom of the hour then. But next bottom of the hour.
Okay, 40 minutes. Yeah.